She was very emotional. So that was really cute. So like when my parents saw me for the first time after 6 months, like the first thing they said is like, are you going somewhere? 띵하! 독일에서 온 카리나입니다. 반갑습니다. The first reason was K-pop. Big Bang. Wow, fantastic baby dance. It was very interesting to me because it's so different from my own country. Like one thing I especially noticed was the hierarchy in Korea. For example, you have like sonbe, oppa and these things. Like we don't have that in Germany. Food. I really love Korean food. In Germany, I never eat rice, so I thought I didn't like rice. But when I came to Korea, I had a lot of dishes with rice. I actually really like it. Usually in Korea, it's like sticky rice. Like when you have it as banchan. It's just different like texture and different taste, so I like it more. I came with the working holiday visa, and right now I am working in a restaurant as a server. Oh no. I just thought I would just visit Korea for a few weeks and that's it, but I just changed my mind. I really like Korean lifestyle, even though it's very like Bali. Sometimes it's hard, but I really enjoy it, especially when you go to public health center to get some documents. Here in Korea it's very quick, but in Germany it can take like 1 month maybe, so yeah, I like that. I think it's very similar actually. In K-drama you also see that people work very hard. I've also experienced that with myself and with my people around me, and also in K-drama some Korean guys can be very romantic, and I've also experienced that. So for example, when it started raining and then the guy opened the umbrella and put the umbrella over the girl, I saw that once and I was like, wow. Like it's real, it really exists. Not really. Only if you like really know the person, but otherwise no. I've also seen when I go to restaurants, sometimes the guy feeds the girl, like especially when it comes to samgyeopsal. And then the guy makes like like with lettuce and puts like meat inside and tries to make it very like healthy and prettily and then feeds the girl. So I've seen that too. A little bit, but it was also very cute. For my mom, it was a little bit hard because Korea is so far away, so that means we cannot see each other easily, but they know I really want to do it and it makes me happy, so they accepted it. I think my father was also a little bit hard for him, but not as much as for my mom. Not that much, just what we learned in school, for example, the Korean War and from the media about North Korea. But because of me, they actually also bought books about Korea and just try to educate themselves, so they know more about Korea.
Because of you?
Yeah, because of me. Yes, they've been one time. They came 2019. My parents told me that they want to come to Korea to visit me. Just 1 week. It was very short. Yeah, so on that day, my parents came to Korea and we really wanted to make a great welcome for them. So we decided to buy flowers and then we just headed to the airport. Yeah. Also, we thought it would be like a great idea to make a sign for them because there's always people waiting with like sign, like the name, picking someone up. So we thought it would be funny to make that too for my parents. So like when my parents saw that, they were like actually really happy that we made so much effort to make them feel welcome. Yeah, we didn't really know when they would come out because they didn't really have Wi-Fi. So I was just like waiting and looking at every person, like, oh, is it my parents? It was really great to see them again. Yeah, like my mom was like really happy to see me again. She was very emotional. So that was really cute. I mean, they were like really surprised and I think they were like in shock to see me. But then they were like really happy and just started to hug me and were like, oh, it's so great to see you again. It was really nice. So like when my parents saw me for the first time after 6 months, like the first thing they said is like, are you going somewhere? Because to them I looked very dressed up, but to me it was just like normal. Like I put on lipstick and makeup and like earrings. I think that surprised them. Because also back in Germany I wouldn't dress up. I wouldn't put on makeup, put on my sweats and that's it. I think because of the people around me. Because in Korea when I go out on the streets, people are usually dressed up. Especially the girls and the women. They dress up like so nicely. So I feel like I also should look like them a little bit. So I can compare to them and I can like adapt to Korean culture. I just remember that they really liked the airport because it was like so big and modern. I think even at that time they had the like robots at the airport and that was like really surprising. So it was the first time for them to see that. We took the bus together, which was also great because then they could see the landscape of Seoul. So I think that's better than subway. And they were also surprised that it was kind of cheap. Yeah, like from the airport to Seoul. I don't know the exact price, but it really wasn't that expensive. I think very cheap. In Germany, the big bus, usually there's no outlet for you to charge your phone. But in Korea, it's very common, and also that bus, you could charge your phone. So that was surprising. And also while getting on the bus driver was very nice and kind, helped us with the luggage. Yeah, I think they were like really surprised by how nice Korean people are. We have train, but usually you need to go to the train station first. It's kind of difficult to get into public transportation. I think my parents were just really surprised by how big Seoul is. Because we are from the countryside in Germany. Even like a city with like 1 million people is very big to us. But Seoul is like so big and has like so many big and modern style buildings. And also the traffic in general. Of course, when there's rush hour, there's like a lot of traffic jam, but usually it runs very smoothly. Oh, and also one thing they really liked was the bus lane. Because also we don't have that. So if there's traffic jam, the bus is also in the traffic jam. But in Korea, there's the bus lane, which is really practical. So they were really surprised by that. They also went to the Gyeongbokgung. It was just very surprising to them to see like a small palace inside the big city. Because usually it's either a city and then you have to drive like 1 hour and get out of the city for you to see like the countryside or like the palace. But like Gyeongbokgung is very inside the city and it's surrounded by very big and modern buildings. So it's a really interesting contrast. They were really surprised by that because they didn't expect that. They thought it would be like separated. So for my parents, it was the first time travel to East Asian country. So another thing that really interested my parents, that Korea is like very safe country. For example, when we went out to a restaurant or to a coffee shop, sometimes people would just leave their phone, their wallet on the table to go to toilet or to order something and no one takes it. Like my mom experienced it with her phone. We were walking to a restaurant and before that we went to a coffee shop and suddenly my mom said, oh, I cannot find my phone. So we thought, oh, maybe she put it in her bag and it's like somewhere there, but then it wasn't there. So we thought we'd just go back to coffee shop to check if it's there, and then it was just like laying on the chair. So like it was still in the exact same place as before. That was really surprising because that wouldn't happen in Germany. It was really surprising. Also for me, it was the first time to experience that. Even though I know that Korea is very safe, I was still a little bit nervous. Like I really wanted my parents to have good experience. So I was really glad that it was still there so they could experience that. Once they came to Korea themselves and experienced kindness of Korean people and how it is to live there, they felt very relieved to like go back to their like home country and to leave me here. So my mom said like when she left, she said she's very happy that I found a good country to stay in. Her heart feels very calm now that she saw with her own eyes that I have a good life and it's safe for me. So she was really happy about that. 오늘은 독일 부모님을 6개월 만에 만났을 때를 말했습니다. 영상이 좋았다면 좋아요, 구독 눌러주세요.